life-changing transition that you are making. Moving away from home to attend a college is a big deal. However, many students find that the transition from high school to college is very challenging. Many millennials, also known as children of Generation Y, have been brought up under persistent supervision where they were told what to do and exactly how to do it. Once these young men and women enter college, though, it is a different story. They are expected to hold patience, be problem solvers, and live a life away from the day-to-day coddling that they used to receive. Typical millennial students can't handle this type of change, and this is why the college years are one of the most stressful times of a person's life. College students are expected to carry a larger and more difficult workload while working at a faster pace. Shouldn't they already be ready for this transition, though? Yes, they should be, but are they? The answer is no. High schools don't properly prepare students for college and the real world. This, along with the pressure to excel academically, is a big factor into why so many college students suffer from stress.
Ooh, can we watch a movie?
Is Wikipedia a credible source?
This wasn't covered in class. Can we just drop it from the test?
When's our next break? I miss vacation.
Will this be on the test?
I didn't do the reading. Can you go over it in class?
I don't take tests well.
Can the homework be due Tuesday instead of tomorrow? I have football tonight.
I have a better idea. Can we have class outside?
We'd only use this in real life.
Can we stop for today? Class is almost over.
You got any bubble gum?
Can we have a free day?
Can this be an open notes test?
Can we take the test on Monday instead of Friday?
Can you read to us instead?
Higher education institutions, especially community colleges, have to deal with the expense and time-consuming process of remediation, which means repeating a course, which is estimated to cost community colleges about $1.4 billion each year. Nationally, 42% of community colleges, freshmen, and 20% of freshmen in four-year institutions enroll in at least one remedial course. In many states, remediation rates are even higher. Approximately 80% of students entering the California community colleges need some remediation, creating a huge burden for the state, especially with 2.9 million students in our system, shares Barry Russell, Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs for the California Community College Chancellor's Office.
Hello, I'm Miss Stewart. I teach high school social studies. I like to think that I'm a good teacher and my students do really well in my classes. How do I do it? Well, I'll show you. I like to keep my students on top of their reading. I give them a few study guides or reading guides. I take out sentences from the book and I delete a few words like that, and I have them fill in the blanks. That's how I help them find the key information.
I never do the reading, I just fill it out at lunch. It's easy to scan and find the words.
Yeah, we go over them in class before we turn them in, so I just fill it out then.
I like to think my class is really challenging.
So do you ever do the readings in Miss Stewart's class?
No, no one does. Her class is so easy.
We have quizzes every couple of weeks. I mostly take the answers from the study guides and just rearrange them a bit. And then I also have tests, and it's usually the same thing as the test. I just kind of change it around. It's usually relatively the same thing. Okay, actually it is the same thing. It just teaches them that if you study, you'll succeed.
I never have to study for a test. If I come in a minute before time, I just glance over the study guide and I'll be fine.
She has a key for the study guide in the front of the class. I usually just copy that once and I'm usually ready for the test.
It's important for students to attend class. Unfortunately, the school season usually means a lot of sick kids, but I can usually help them catch up.
Hey, Miss Stewart, I'm not feeling very good. Can I go to the nurse's office?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I hope you feel better.
Hey, I'm not feeling very good either. Can I go to the nurse's
Oh,
office?
yeah. Oh, so many sick kids. This is awful. Yeah, go ahead. I hope you feel better. It's a shame how many kids miss out on class time. They go over really important stuff.
How could I possibly be expected to handle school on a day like this?
One way I like to help kids catch up on their sick days is give them an extra day before the test. They can work on their study guides if they want while the other kids are taking the tests.
I didn't even miss a class. You just took my word for it.
I like to think that my class really prepares kids for college. It gives them good study habits. A lot of other high school classes are designed this way.
Do you feel like you're prepared for college?
I don't know. I bet college professors don't just hand you good grades like this. I've never really had to study for any of my classes before. I don't know how.
Do you get a study guide for your test? If so, are the study guides an exact replica of the test?
Yeah, she'll take basically every question from your test and put different numbers or different words in it, and that's your study guide.
In Tony Wagner's book, The Global Achievement Gap, he stated that 65% of college professors report that what is taught in high school does not prepare students for college. As many of you might have noticed already, a lot of your high school classes may not have seemed challenging for you. That's probably because they weren't. Unfortunately, many schools and educators have to focus on preparing their students for tests like the ITEDs. Wagner also wrote, "What preoccupies many educators are the growing pressures to prepare all students for the increased number of high-stakes standardized tests. They're a lot more worried about their school district making what's called adequate yearly progress, so they're not stigmatized as failing. Schools want you to succeed. Think, how many high school classes have you actually failed out of? It's really hard to do. Not only is it bad for your GPA, it's bad for their reputation as well. When you get to college, you're the one paying to be there and to learn. It's up to you to choose what you will do with these opportunities. In college, your professors will be giving you more responsibilities. This is a time to become responsible for yourself and for your work."
Hey, Teach, thanks for meeting with me today.
No problem. What can I do for you, Matt?
This may sound silly, but I feel like high school just didn't prepare me well enough for college, and I'm having a hard time on my classes, and I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that many high schools baby their students all the way throughout high school, and they just throw them in the wild like a piece of meat.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like I can do something to change my grades and how I'm doing, but then again, it's hard to change the habits I formed after all these years.
Again, you're feeling like a lot of freshmen right now. The first step I would give you is to meet with your professor, which you're already doing, so great job. The second thing I would say is to plan ahead. Get yourself a nice planner here and give yourself plenty of time to study and plan ahead for papers or big quizzes, anything you have like that, just so you don't have to put them off until the end. And my last advice would be to just get some rest and do your best in everything you do.
Sounds swell, Teach. Thanks.
You're welcome.
In his best-selling book, Growing Up Digital, The Rise of the Net Generation, Don Tapscott notes that the Net Generation, his term for the millennials, is a remarkable one that will truly change the world. They are changing the way business is conducted, which school reform initiatives are embraced, and have even affected politics, a la 2008 when they showed up en masse to vote in the presidential elections. In Grown Up Digital, a follow-up to Growing Up Digital, Tapscott asks, will we let this generation reshape the world? He notes, as we enter the new age, the future won't just happen, it will be created, and primarily by them.
I guess the biggest thing that I would tell students if they told me they were feeling unprepared or overwhelmed by the workload at UNI is to use the resources that UNI has to offer. There are lots of people here that want students to succeed. That's why they've come into this career, whether it be career services to talk about what job they want after they're here, or academic advising to help them pick a major. If it's coursework related, the Academic Learning Center on campus is wonderful. It can help with study skills, test taking strategies, but also can get you hooked up with tutors if you feel like your writing maybe is not as strong as it should be, or math, which would have been a place that I could have used some help if I was in those kinds of classes. So, maybe the first place to start is to talk to an RA or to a professor in a class that you trust, because they can help you hook up with some of those resources that really are here to help students that just feel like they're not quite ready. I think the first skill that students really do need to have is the inclination to ask for help if they need it, truly. They need to be able to put their pride aside. They need to understand that they don't need to know everything, be able to find help, because everyone struggles at different things. I think there are some students that come to school here at UNI and academics isn't the problem, but socially they're struggling at where to make friends and who to hang out with and that kind of thing. Or the other way around.
Everything is great, everything is grand. I got the whole wide world in the palm of my hand.
Everything is perfect, it's falling into place. I can't seem to wipe this smile off my face.